Good morning, everybody. It's Elsie. So I'm realizing that collage is a lot more thinking about what I'm going to do and not as much doing as cross stitch was. Cross stitch, you have a pattern and you do have to make some decisions. You have to decide like what parts of the pattern you're going to do first. You might change the colors that are in the pattern. But a lot of it is really laid out for you. So there's a lot of doing. But for collage, I do a lot of thinking about what I'm going to put together and looking at my materials and seeing how they lend to what I want to do. So I'm just looking at a bunch of stuff I have here. I'm thinking about doing a page in my collage journal. And I have this great book that I bought at a lawn sale. It's called You Don't Have to Fuck People Over to Survive, which I feel like that is a hugely important sentiment right now because so we're told often that there is one pie and there are only so many pieces. And if we do not take our piece, somebody else will take it. And so if they take it, we can't have it. And if we take it, they can't have it, which, as we know, there is a lot more abundance in the world than that. You can create new pies, right? So I love this book, and it's got some amazing illustrations in it. Yeah, it's got some cool stories, like here's the one that I saw. So these are very like harsh illustrations. And it says, once I saw a man bleed to death. The next panel says, that night people walked to the movies over his blood. I thought that because I did not throw up, I was not upset. But later I found that the dead man was living inside my body. In fact, I was full of the things I saw on the street, and I could not control myself. So just some really intense, thoughtful stuff. And then it says, I was not the only one. I saw that all my friends were eating each other. I had to do something. Really cool. So, whoops, now I lost that one that I was just going to use. Okay. One thing, so there was a couple of things I found in my collage journal that I couldn't find yesterday. So one of them is this one that I did about the war in Ukraine. Let's see what date I did that, when we all thought that was going to be short. I was in 2022. That was 4 years ago. Holy crap. So this is the one I did for that. And this is fabric. And it's in the colors of the Ukrainian flag. And then and so I found the page in the encyclopedias that said Russia. And I used a stamp, a rubber stamp, to write fuck Putin. So I've been meaning to do a page about Gaza. I'm very emotionally connected to what's happening in Gaza. I've been following it very closely, and actually I gave myself an entire education on it when it started because some things just didn't make sense to me, and they were things that I never paid attention to in the past. And you know, I think we're all very busy with our lives, and that's very far away from here, and it's always been branded as hard to understand, but I decided I wanted to understand it, and so I did. But making a collage page about it is, I feel like I need to do it justice. So I was recently watching this documentary about Art Spiegelman. I think that's his name. But he did the Mouse books. And in this documentary, he talked about the panel that was hardest for him to do, and that was where there was a pit that Jews had been thrown into and lit on fire, the whole pit. And he meticulously just wanted to make sure that he was conveying that these were actually humans, even though they were drawn as mice, and that he got their expressions right, and just that he paid, he gave enough reverence and respect, you know, and realism to that scene. And so that really struck me, and I thought maybe that's why I haven't done this collage about Gaza yet. But I just, in looking at things this morning, so I have a book, this old, really cool, I have to go through my boxes to find it, an old children's book. I don't know what year it's from, but it has these beautiful black and white and some color illustrations in it. And I've used them for various things, and I think I still have enough. But as you know, there's like 50% of the population of Gaza is/was children. And so I wanted to include that, but also like this is a great image for that. And then I just found, because I like keep things. So I get magazines and I use parts of them, but then I cut out little parts and just keep them. Like, by the way, I don't know how much of a lefty you are, but Jacobin magazine has some amazing illustrations. Like this came out of there. So I just kind of keep things in here. And like this is a strip of an old painting canvas. But I found a few things that could go for Gaza. Like this is a drone. There's a gun. Oh, and this is a bomb. So I was thinking I want to show bombs dropping because that's a big thing happening there. And so sometimes I try to draw it myself. I'm not a good drawer, only because I've never tried to become one. So I thought maybe I could even print them on this little printer, a few bombs, and maybe color them in with like a black marker so that they won't fade from the thermal printing. So just, you know, trying to put some different elements together, and then I have to think of a background. I have to see what I have for a background, or I have to print a background. So again, there's just a lot more stuff that goes on in my head for doing collage than when I did cross stitch. So I think I'm going to try to cut some of these out today to have for tomorrow, so I can start arranging them and also look for a background. I mean, there might be a background in here. And I don't always put a background in my journal pages, so maybe I don't need that, but I can start cutting things out so that I can start arranging them. So that's my video for today. I'm much more chipper and prepared today. I think my mic is working and I feel like I have a better angle and hopefully some better lighting today. So I will see you all tomorrow because that's Friday.